Horoscopes by 1pkc.io, brought to you by Jeff Helkenberg.
Hello Capricorn, this is your horoscope for the week of March 11th, 2019. Now currently the house of Capricorn hosts Saturn and Pluto, and so of course your ruling planet Saturn remains in your house. So this looks like it's going to be yet another week for your powerful leadership ability to shine through, because it appears that many of the people around you are going to be fairly incapable of leading and directing themselves. Now, this is going to be especially true in the workplace, where there's a very significant chance that you're going to encounter a series of disappointments. The important thing to remember this week is that it's important for you to delegate. You should not be the person who has to do all the work that the other people are avoiding. There's kind of an 80-20 rule that 20% of the people do 80% of the work in any organization. And one of the things that's going to happen this week is that you're falling into that 20% of the people who are doing 80% of the work category. You cannot live your life that way. It's important to make sure that you're not carrying other people's water this week. Even if it means that it will damage the mission of the organization overall, you're going to have to allow it to be brought to light that other people are not doing their fair share when, in fact, they are not doing their fair share. Now, it's also going to be important to understand that there's a lot of chaos right now, and other people are going to be dropping the ball. And while this may be actually like an endemic problem for those people, or it could be a one-off. So in the situation where you're dealing with people who are usually very dependable, but they appear to be failing, work with those people. You do want to help the people who are actually dependable, who are having a rough time. What you don't want to do is help people who refuse to help themselves, who historically fail. You are going to be carrying all these extra burdens, but you're not going to be getting paid more money to do it. It's not going to lead to you having greater success. And this is also going to be true if you're an entrepreneur. Now, entrepreneurs generally will cut the weak parts out faster than happens in many organizations, where people who aren't performing, that lack of performance can sometimes get lost. People aren't necessarily fully aware that people aren't performing at a given level. Well, this week, especially in those contexts where you're part of a team or you're working in an organization, do not help people who are refusing to help themselves. And that's the message that you really want to get this week, because you're going to be confronted by that. And one of two choices, one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to pick up the slack of other people, and it's going to be especially negative consequences for you if you pick it up for people who historically just are lazy. You don't want to help lazy people, but you definitely want to throw in and help people who have been dependable. So it's going to be maybe difficult to discern that, but if you can discern it, help pick up the slack for the people that you know will be there for you and who are historically dependable. But throw the people who are not dependable to the wolves. And so that's the message this week. Now, for those of you who know your birth chart positions, here is a rundown of the other planets and our star. Neptune and the Sun are in Pisces, along with Mercury, which has entered into retrograde. Venus is in Aquarius, Mars and Uranus are in Taurus, Jupiter is in Sagittarius, and Pluto and Saturn are in Capricorn, while the moon starts the week in Taurus, will move through Gemini and Cancer, and will end the week in Leo. So again, the message for this week: do not carry water for those who are unwilling to do so historically, but make sure you're there to help people who are just having a rough time, but are normally very dependable people.
Thank you for listening, and visit 1pkc.io for more great content.